Hey everyone. So today we're going to build a clone of Instagram, and it's going to be called as Fake Insta. Okay, and we're just going to have basic functionality like how you can post a picture, how you can have a complete feed of just like Instagram, and you can upvote an image and comment on any post, and see a detail of this post, write comments here, different comments here, and you can visit anybody's profile and see their all the pictures they have posted. They can follow you, you can follow them, you can edit your profile, and basic functionality just like what the Instagram has. So let's jump into it. So we are going to start with creating databases. So we'll start with user database, which is by default in Bubble. And in user, we need a few more things apart from just email, which is provided as by default in this. We're going to need name of the user. So we're going to have name, and we're going to have profile picture, which will be image, and let's also create bio. You can the user will have their own bio just like in Instagram, and then number of followers, which will be the user, and this will be a list of users. So all the people who follows you will be in the list of user, will be added as a list of user in your follower list. And then following, how many user you are following, so you need to also give it as user, and this will be a list of users. So perfect. And after this, we're going to have two more databases. One is post. So in the post, we're going to have essentially a few things, which is image. So you're posting an image. So this will be an image which you're making. And second would be caption. So this will be the again text. The third one will be number of likes. So likes, and this will be users, list of users. So we're going to count how many people have liked your images. So we're going to store it in the as a list of user whoever liked your images. So this is, and then we're going to have comments. We have comment, and then we have in the comment database we're going to have two fields. One will be comment content. So whatever the user is typing as a comment, so it's going to be stored as text. Next one would be comment post. So we're going to refer to all the comment related to some sort of post. So every time someone makes a comment, we're going to store, okay, this is the comment and this is the post on which this comment has been made. So yeah, this is pretty much it for now. We later on we're going to add few more things like a number of other things, but to start with the basic thing, we're going to start with this and uh, beautify the whole look and feel of the image of the application, and the few other things we're going to add on a later stage. So to begin with, I'm just going to have one thing here, which is, for example, I'm going to have here, welcome to Insta. This is going to be a dot. Yeah. This will be in the center of the thing, and we're going to have header as stored here. So yeah, and now we're going to trigger. Okay, this is the home page of Instagram, and or whatever call you whatever ever you want to call it. So this is the home page of that fake Insta. Let's call it fake Insta. This is the home page of fake Insta, and whenever user land, they cannot see any sort of content unless they sign up. So we're going to say okay, whenever they click on the sign up. So this is a default header, and it has a pre-built. This is by default in Bubble that whenever you click on this, it opens a pop-up of this thing of sign up page. So I already have name added here as a input and profile picture. So I'm going to show you quickly how you can do this. So I have this name. By default you'll have this email, so just going to copy paste it, and just going to change its uh, thing placeholder to name. Also rename this And content format should be text. It cannot be an email, otherwise the name, whenever you put anything, uh, it will never take up until it looks for an email. So another one is profile picture. I just have it here. Yeah. And in the workflow item, just we're just going to trigger two, we're just going to add two more element in it, which will be, I'm just going to delete this from the previous thing. So I'm just going to have this, the name of the user should be the input value of input name signups value, and profile picture should be the picture uploader profile picture value. So yeah. And so now we are going to have this go to index page, and we are going to say, okay, whenever user click on the sign up, they should send it to the feed, the feed of the complete application. So we're going to create new page, which will be home. Should be take a clone from index. That's fine. We're just going to delete this, and yeah. And in this feed, so the type of content, so we have to define what kind of content will be here. So the type of content would be the user. So the whoever is logging into the application should be the type of content the application will know that this is the user. All the personalization, all the images, whatever needs to be loaded will be loaded, respect will be loaded with respect to this user. So in this one, we are going to create. Okay, one more thing. It's when we are on the sign up page, we're just going to tell it. Okay, whenever you're done with sign up, go to page home, and send the data as the current user. Whoever has logged in, the data should be sent as a data to send. So every time you navigate between pages, you have the option to send a data sort of thing. So you can send the current user as the data to to be navigated to the home page. So the home page would know, okay, this is the user for which I need to show all the feed, all the create post, my profile, everything should be aligned to that particular user. So we're going to go back to home, and we are quickly going to design a, just start with creating a post first. So we are going to have, okay, picture uploader, upload the picture here, and have a button here to post. So we are going to say, okay, upload the image here, type the caption here, and post it. It will be stored in the feed. It will be stored as in the feed with your name on it. So you're posting a picture on your fake and stuff. So we're going to say, okay, this will be picture uploader, post image, and this will be input post caption. The post button. So we're going to say, okay, whenever user input these two things in here, start a workflow. Whenever you click on the post button, that will be create a new thing. What do you want to create? You need to create a post, and you need to have image as a picture uploader post image value. So whatever user put in there, it will be stored as an image in there. Just going to add one more thing here is, we're going to process this image through ImageX. This is a default plugin of Bubble, and what we're going to do is, we're going to resize to fit the dimension of the cropping. So whatever the size you'll put in the as a while creating the feed, it will automatically crop rest of the picture and automatically show the complete picture in that box. And we're going to set another field, which will be caption should be the input post captions value. So whatever you'll write there, it will be stored as a caption. And third thing we're going to show, all right, yeah, so these two things for now. So these are created. So let's just test it first. So we're going to go for preview. go for preview. Yeah. So we need to sign up first so that the system would know who's coming here. Test, test.com. So I'm also going to put a profile picture here and just put this one here. Sign up. So now we're inside the application and we're so right now you're seeing the logout button here. So it means that the user has been signed up, and we're just going to upload one image here. This image, and so I think this is the image of road, right? Yeah, this is an image of road. Just going to post it. So now it's posted. Now we just need to check has it worked or not. So we're going to go to app data and we're going to say all post. So it yes, fantastic. It has road and an image along with it. So our thing is done here. We are able to create a post in the database, and we're just going to go back to workflow. And you must have seen that once I created the post, the input and the image is still there. It should have been refreshed. So I'm just going to reset the input value of it. So just going to once we created a new post after capturing these two values, in the next step for of this process, we are going to say okay, go to element section and reset the inputs value. So just going to reset all the input value, which all the input which I have used in the previous step. Fantastic. So uh, so now we are going to have quick feed here. So we're just going to say okay, this is a home feed. Just give it a copy of not too big. Just song with H2. Yeah, this looks good. And now we're going to use the repeating groups. Where is it? Yeah, I'm just going to give it a 1 and just stretch it back here. And I'm going to say, okay, the type of content we need is a post. We need is post, and data source would be do a search for uh, do a search for all the posts. That's it. For now, we're just going to show all the posts, irrespective of whom you follow or whom you don't follow. That logic we are going to implement it on a later stage. For now, we are just going to come up with all the images whichever has been put by any users. So we're just going to start with okay, like for any Insta post, you have few things with the image of the user and the name of the user. So we're going to start with that. So we'll have image. This would be the current cell post creators, whoever created this post, profile picture. So we are saying okay, uh, this is the current cell, which is has the type of content as post, and the data source is all the post, and within that cell, we are saying okay, the image should have the current cell's post creator's profile picture. So whoever created this post will creator of that post should have their profile picture here. So just going to drag it down here and just make it let's call it 40 by 40. Just going to give it a round of 20. And then we're going to have name of the user. We're saying okay. Again, similarly, the way we have done with the image, so we're going to say okay, current cell post creator's name, and then we're finally going to have the post image here, which will be let's put it edge to edge. Going to have 500 by 500, and let's not have any sort of roundness, and just And let's have some sort of roundness here, a little bit only, 10. Yeah. And now we're going to say, okay, what will be the what should come in this image placeholder. So we're going to say, okay, insert a dynamic data which will be current post image, and then we're going to have two caption here. So I'm just going to copy paste it, and this should take up the whole space. And I'm saying is current cell post, just the caption. That's it. After this, we need two more things. I'm just going to add quickly one icon here for upvote, and text here for the count of upvote. Yeah. So quickly shrink it and change it to, it's okay. Peace out. Let's use this for now, and just delete this. I'm just going to come back here again. So for now, let's just see if it's working or not. I'm just going to refresh it. So here we are seeing image one. I'm just going to change one thing here, which is I don't need a vertical scrolling. I'm just going to give it a full list. So it's going to take up the whole as the new image will come up. It's going to expand its height and expand its height to go beyond the page. So I'm just going to refresh it again. So we won't we I don't want to see this scroll bar. So we just remove the vertical scrolling. Perfect. Now we have this image with a caption underneath it and up link for upload. So let's just upload another image to test if it's showing up here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now you'll notice that the new image has come after that. We need to latest image to have on the top. So we're just going to change one slight thing is search for the post. But when you're searching for the post, we want sorted by the created date, and descending it should be yes, so that it's latest up. Any new image you upload should come at the top, not at the bottom. Refresh it again. Yeah, perfect. So now you can see we had two images, and you also must have noticed this is coming in square. So like the kind of the the image which you have passed through ImageX is like doing this thing. So whatever will be the height of this image uh, component, it's going to crop that image to that particular. So for example, if I need this much of an image, I'm just going to go back and refresh it, and we'll see we're only going to be seeing only that section of the image. Rest is cropped out. Yeah. So again, I'm just going to control that here. So now we are able to create image and post it and have it in the feed. So I'm just going to quickly have this like option. So whenever a user click on this, it should create a like in that post. So we're just going to run a workflow here, start a workflow. So what we're going to do is whenever user click on this, make a changes to a thing, current cell post, like. So remember we had the like as a list of users. So it won't show equals to or anything. It's going to ask us to the add the component anything. So we're going to add, okay, in the like add the current user. So since the current user is clicking, add the current user in that list. Okay, fine, perfect. And the next thing is we have this thing here, and we we need to show the number of likes which this image has. So we're going to say, okay, show us the current cell post likes count. That's it. So it's going to show us the number of count. Third thing we are going to change is define it as, so if the current user has already liked the picture, it should show as something maybe green or red, something else, just to notify that you have already liked the image. So if when the current user, no, sorry, when the current cell post likes contains current user, so we are going to say, okay, when the current this current post like list of likes, list of user of that like has the current user, we are going to change the color of the icon. So we're going to change it to, for example, green maybe. Yeah, perfect, perfect. And so we're just going to quickly test this as well. So now we're going to upvote it. Perfect. So it's now getting green and the value has been incremented. Similarly, we're going to reverse this process to unlike that picture and minus that current user from the list of user of that like. So for that, we are also going to create a custom state for this button so that it changes the value of whenever the it's liked or not liked. So we're going to create a first. Let me also change its name to icon code and a custom state of like yes and no. So we're going to change it every time whenever someone likes it. When the current user likes it, it's going to change to yes, so that it will always know, okay, it's a light stage, and whenever it changes, whenever user clicks on it again, it should up unlike it and it should change it to no. So by default, it's going to be no because you haven't liked it yet. And now we're going to create a workflow. So in this workflow, we are only going to say, okay, whenever this icon is clicked, this should only happen when these icons liked is no. So whenever it's no, this it can add as a current user in the like list. And similarly, I'm just going to copy paste it, and in the next one I'm just going to change it to yes. So whenever it says when the current user has already liked it, so now we are going to reverse this process of unliking it. So we are going to say, instead of like add, we are going to remove. So yeah, remove. So it's going to remove the current user from the list. So let's also test it out. So it's liked. When you click on it, it should unlike. Let's check again. Where did it got wrong? Okay, so and the icon vote is clicked on no. It should add current user. Okay, okay. We also have to change its state, so it will know. Okay, okay. So when it's no, add the user and change its state to. We change set state of the icon of vote to like yes. All right, so it's going to change it to yes, that it's liked. And in the another different one, we are going to say, okay, whenever you unlike it, when the user is removed, the state should change to the state should change to no. Yeah. So icon of port liked to know. So we are saying okay, the like has been removed from here. Let's test it. Perfect. So I'm like I can click on it and it's like adding the value, and whenever I click it again, it's removing it from there. Since yeah, so yeah, it's also okay. Perfect. So now we're going to add a let's copy paste it for a comment for to show number of comments here. I'm going to say okay, should be doesn't have any message icon, should have a comment. Yeah, let's use this one. And in this one we're going to say current post, current cell post. Instead of likes we're going to say okay. So we're just going to change it a little bit, because we are not capturing the number of uh, comment within the post scenario, so post database. So what we are going to do is we're going to change it. We're going to go for do a search for all the comments where the comment post is the current cell post. All right, and we are going to give a count number of count, so it's going to show a number of all the comments which are attached to this post. But to do that we are also going to have to start posting comment for this to this post. So yeah, let's create a let's just do it in pop-up. Okay, so let's create a pop-up. Okay, here it is, and it's going to be pop-up post detail. Type of content is post, and data source should be okay. For the data source we are going to create a custom state for this pop-up, and we're going to store the value of the post which the user clicks. So we're going to say okay, post detail, and it's going to be post. So create this, and in the data source we're going to say pop-up post detail. So we're going to say okay, system is going to recognize okay, whenever you click on this we're going to start a workflow storing its showing the pop-up as well as setting its state the current to the current cell post. So we're going to say okay, pop-up detail post, set post details value to current cell post, so the pop-up will know which post to show. Okay, so let's go back to pop-up post details, and we're going to fill the information here. So I'm just going to use the this few things from here. copy copy it, go to the post and paste it. So now we have at least these basic things here. So it will show the profile picture of the user name, image, which is the post, caption of it, and upvote, number of upvotes, comment, and number of comments. So just going to increase its height a little bit more. And now we're going to add a comment section here. So for that we're going to use repeating groups again. Repeating groups are amazing. We use it so often for almost everything in this. So let's start. Let's add comment at the top, and it will come in the this order. Yeah, I'm just going to increase the number of rows here. Yeah, and the type of content should be comment. Look for do a search for all the comments wherever the comment post is equals to parent group post. Perfect. So now we're going to show three things here. One, profile picture of the user who's posting the comment, name of that user, and the comment content. So we're going to add three things. Let's just copy these two from here. Great. I think I should increase its height. 5, yeah. And now we're going to show a comment content here. It's going to copy copy paste it. Oops, because it's not going to fit in, and I just need to, yeah, now let's paste it here. Now you see all the things are here, but for that we're just going to change it to, okay, what we need to show, current cell comment content. So it's going to show me the detail of whatever the comment you have posted. And to post the comment, we should have at least input box here. So let's just put it here, input box, right? And let's use an icon to send. For the send, let's use a send button maybe. Let's use this one. It looks like a telegram icon, but I guess let's just use it for to make it a send. Okay, let me check if we have any sort of arrow here. Yes, we do have. Perfect. So let's use this one. Okay, fine. Let's rename it to right comment, and let's use this button to trigger a workflow to save this input values into this comment section. So we're going to say, okay, whenever you click on the send button, let me also rename its icon. Yes. So we're going to say, okay, whenever you click on this, it should create a comment. It should create a new thing stating that, let's just add both the field. This one, the comment content should be the input value of right comments value, and comment post should be the parent group post. So it will know where I'm storing the comment. And also let's also reset the input box. Yeah, perfect. So it should show me the image. It should show me the comment here, and let's just test it out. Okay, somehow it has logged us out from this page, so I'm just going to log in again. Just going to test. I've already yes, I should log in this case. Test at test.com. Yep. And now we're going to just click on this image. It's showing me the perfect details, and let's just write our first comment. Okay. It's not showing me the image of the user. Let me check in the database if we have saved that thing in the all user. It has profile picture and the name of it, but it's not showing there in the. Let's check it again why it's not happening. Creator's name and who was the creator of this post. Test at test.com. Perfect. Test and all user run as name is test. Profile picture is there. Let's just refresh it. Profile picture. Alright, and let's go to this and refresh it, and let's see if it starts showing us the profile picture or not. I don't think so. Yeah, no, it's here there now. Yes, perfect. So let's just click on this. Yeah, we have this test, and let's just say, okay, nice. Really. Okay, so now we are able to see the comments and the post. So we are able to do. We are also seeing the number of comments are increasing as you comment on it. So now we're going to create a profile. So I'm just going to load them down a bit. You can also have a plus button, just like in Instagram. Open a pop-up, create the post in those pop-up or in different screens. You can do this for the faster approach. I just keep it here just so that we can test the workflow that everything is going perfect. So we're just going to create a my profile page. Let's create a profile page first. Yep, it's here now, and let's add header here. Okay, let me just reuse the what was the home with how much I kept it 1080. Okay, I'm just going to keep it as 1080 here as well, and just keep it in center. Increase the page height a little bit. I'm just keeping it here so that in any flow, if you like, if the system logs you out, or if in case you want to log out or log in from some different user, you can do it at every page instead of going back and forth to home page. So here we are going to create. Let's start with few things. We're going to have profile picture of the user for the profile. Then we're going to have their name along with it, and then we're going to have follow button, and we're going to have text stating number of followers, just writing it down here, and then we're going to add a dynamic value alongside it. So we're going to say number of followers, number of following, and we're going to have two more things. So let's just keep it here, and let's just say, yeah, so it's going to be post, number of posts the user has created. We can also keep a bio, but since we are not having saving any value in the bio, so I'm just going to ignore it for now, and going to add it on a later stage. So we're just going to add shape here, just creating a small divider just so we know. Okay, and we're going to have a repeating group to show the number of to show all the posts which are there, uh, which are posted by this user. So we're going to show a grid here, and I'm just going to one. Sure. Okay, this could be good square. Okay, so now we're going to feed the data into this. So the profile should have the profile page should have the type of content as user, because you're going to show the user, and in the home page we are going to say, okay, whenever the user clicks on it, you should send them to the profile page. Okay, so we're going to say, okay, navigate, go to page profile, and send the data as current cell post creator, because we are, remember, we're clicking on the user who created that post. Now we're going to go back on the profile, and we're going to say, okay, this should be the, okay, not here, this should be the dynamic image of the. So now we are not going to refer it as current user, because the current user is this sign up logged in user. We're going to refer it to current page user, so whoever profile we are opening. So with current page users, profile picture, perfect. This is going to be their name, so we're going to say, okay, current page user name, and here we're going to say number of posts. So we're going to say, okay, how many numbers, so x numbers of x 32 posts. So we're going to say number of posts, and then we're going to refer add post after it. So we're going to say, okay, do a search for post where where created by equals to current page user, and we're going to show its count. So it's going to say, let's say that the user has created 32 posts, so it's going to read 32 posts. Similarly in the follower, we're going to say, okay, we're going to add a dynamic data. And did we create it with the we'll check current page users, followers count. And for the following, we're going to say, okay, current page user, following count. Looks good. And for this, we're going to say, okay, follow. And this is going to be the post. So we're going to say, this is going to be post. We are going to show all the posts this user has created, and we're going to say, okay, do a search for all the posts where the created by is equals to the current page user. So it's going to show us, it's going to search for all the posts where the current page user is the creator. And now we're going to add an image here. And this is going to be the current cell post image. Perfect. Now let's go back to the the home page, and let's just preview it again. So hopefully I know everything went great, and when we click on this test the username, it should show us these all images in that list. So let's click on this and check it out. Perfect. It's showing all the three images, and number of posts is 3, name of the user, profile picture of the user, number of followers currently 0, and number of following is also currently 0. Perfect. So I'm just going to remove this scroll by putting it as full list instead of a vertical scroll. So we're going to say full list. So it's going to be like adding, it's without any scroll, it's going to add into the page rather than just adding it to that particular section. Let's preview this again and let's see. It might not be able to show here because it's going to show lorem ipsum, because when we refresh this page it doesn't know where it came from. So hence the reason I usually put a back sign there. But anyhow, we're going to go to home and click on preview. And I'm going to click on test. Now you won't see any scroll here. And I'm going to add one more image so that we'll know where is it going. We'll just add image. Alright, yeah, let's click on this. It should come after that. Yeah, just like a Instagram feed. I'm just going to change one more thing here, that the latest image should come at top, not at the bottom. So I'm just going to change its sorting order to created date, and yes, descending. Yes, we need it in descending order. So I'm just going to refresh this page. It should show the, yeah. So now it's coming into descending order. Perfect. So now we're going to do two things here. One, if we are opening the if the user is opening their own profile, it should not show us the follow button. It should show us the edit button, because you can edit. You would not follow yourself. So we're going to give it a condition here. So condition is when the current page user is current user. So when the current page user is current user, I'm going to change his text to edit, right? And now we're going to set two workflows stating, okay, when the this is follow when the current user is the different from the when the current page user is different from the current user, follow the button should act as a follow, and if the current page user is the current user, it should act as a edit button. So yeah, we're going to say, okay, start a workflow saying when this only when this current page user is not current user. So current page user, when the current page user is not the current user, what we need to do, we need to follow, we should follow the user. So what we're going to do, we're going to add, make a changes to the thing, and we're going to say current page user followers add current user. So whoever is the current user will be added in the follower list of the current page user. And let's also have a custom state here stating, are you following this user or not? So follower, yes or no. By default it's a no, because whenever you reach to any page, any profile page, any other user's profile page, you're not a follower by default, you need to click on the follow button. So we're going to start again, just add one more step in this workflow stating, okay, change its state of which state, the button follow state, followers, yes. So now this is now the system, now the state will know that you already following the user. We're going to trigger another workflow. Okay, so we're just going to copy, paste it, and in this one we're going to say, okay, when the current page user is current user, we don't need to act it as a follower button. Instead, we are going to open a edit profile. So for that, we're going to create one more. Let's just do it in a pop-up, or let me yeah, why not? So we're going to say, okay, open a pop-up. Here's a pop-up. Yeah. So this pop-up state is, we need to create a state, setting, profile, okay. Type of content is user, data sources. Just keep it current user. Yeah. In fact, we really don't have to create a custom state, because if it's going to have a current user, then we don't need it. Yeah. So we're going to say, okay, where the workflow, when the current page user is not current user, but when the, yeah, this one, when the current page user is current user, we're going to show pop-up user. Perfect. And in the pop-up user, we're going to say few things. One is, there is the image uploader, yeah, this one, and let's just remove it and keep it the other one. Let's just say image. So this is going to be the profile image. We're saying show me the parent group user profile picture. Next is the username. This will be the parent group user name. Okay, so we since we're going to edit it, we have two approaches. Either we can, like, give a provide a name and everything here, and add an input box below it, and, like, then link it to the way we have been doing for creating a post. The second thing we can do is uh, provide an auto binding. And auto binding does something great, that whenever we change something in that value, it automatically changes in the database. So what we can do is, let's give it a try to auto bind. So let's just remove these two, and picture uploader. So yeah, this one is going to be here. So we are saying, okay, auto bind this to the profile picture. But now whenever you auto bind, this bubble will notify you that you need to change a privacy setting into the database, because it doesn't allow any sort of changes directly. So what we're going to say, okay, in the app data, in the privacy section, we're going to say user. We're going to create, okay, we're going to just allow auto binding for bio, name, profile picture. Perfect. So now you see it's not showing us anymore. It's not showing that trigger us anymore. And the next would be this one is, let's just add a text here. Oops. Yeah. And let's auto bind this to the name. Let's just paste it. Third thing we're going to change is, we are only left with bio. So for the bio, let's create a multi-line input, because you need to, add list of, add a bio can be longer, yeah. So but for this, I'm going to change its auto binding to bio. Perfect. It's like placeholder is bio. In case if there's no value in the database, then it's going to show us a default placeholder. And if there's any value in the database, it's going to show that value here, because we are auto binding it to the database. So makes sense. Let's just add a button. Let's add two things. Yeah, button as save. Another one is. So we won't be requiring cancel button as such, because um, since it's auto binding, it's anyhow going to update the value in the database. So even if it's even if the user clicks on the cancel button, it's not going to cancel any information. It's not going to change anything, because the values are already been changed in the database. It's not a good practice for this thing, but since we have already covered the how to use input box and save things, I thought let's use a different method here, and let's test that thing out here. Okay, so instead of cancel, we should have close button. Close. It's going to hide the element state. Sorry, no. Element hide pop-up user. Even the same save button is of no use, because it's auto saving its value in the database. So we just, in fact, let's just delete the save button for now. Yeah. So let's test this out then. So we are here, we are logged in as test user. So it should give us the value of edit. Perfect. And if we click on edit, it's showing us the our profile picture. So let's add some bio here. Yeah, my name is Text. We did not we did not have the bio section here, so let's just add a bio section first. This will be the current page user by show us the by where. Yep. And number posted. So let's log out, log in from different user, and let's test it out again. How it's going to be. So let's go back to the home page. Let's preview this one out. I'll just log out and just sign up again. This time I'm going to give the name is a@a.com, and the profile picture, let's add some sort of profile picture here. First, post. Yes. So now I'm logged in as A, so it's going to show me edit. But if I go back and click on the test user and click on what's happening, it's not showing me the image. Just refresh it again. Because something is happening, it's not showing me few details here. So if I click on follow, I'm following, and the this user has been. Oh, what happened? It added the value. Yes, it's here. So now it's incremented by 1. Perfect. So this is a basic Instagram application you can create on your own, show it around, and have fun. Thank you.